Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. Now, today is Monday, the 23rd of March, 2020. And, let's get started. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. What we're looking at is a map of the United States, and we're looking at the effects of this COVID-19, you know? Let me reduce the chart down here so you can see the map of the United States and the COVID-19, the effect of COVID-19. It's speckled everywhere, Here's the thing. You know what this looks like to me? It looks like a steak that's been in the frying pan. A pepper steak. It's been in the frying pan. And you peppered it to your satisfaction. And then your wife comes along later, and she peppers it again, and she really puts the pepper right to it. That's what this map of COVID-19 looks like. It looks like it's been over peppered. Now, going back a couple weeks, what in the heck happened? What in the heck happened here? How do we get this way? Just a few weeks ago, I was on here saying, there's like one case COVID-19. It came in like on an airplane, and I was like saying, okay, what we need to do now is we need to contact trace everybody that's come in contact with this person, and then we need to block everybody coming in and out of the country. Don't let anybody in or out of the country. And they'd done that back when I said, this would be altogether different. There wouldn't be even one case in the United States of America. But I mean, what's in the heck's going on? I'll tell you what's happened. The World Health Organization. You ever been to a football player and there's some sort of an inept player in the game, and honest to goodness, he cannot hang on to that ball? He fumbles it over and over and over again. And in the end, you're sitting there, you're watching the game, and in the end, you get totally disgusted because he fumbles the ball so many times that you just can't watch anymore. You have to just like throw up your hands and say, "Oh, this guy, he can't hang on to the ball." Well, that's the way with this organization here, this WHO. I've never seen anybody fumble the ball so many times in all of my life. I've never seen anything like it. It goes beyond imagining how many times they fumbled the ball on this. And now we're faced this situation that we're in. And it's got to the point where this director of the World Health Organization that comes on TV, comes on the internet, comes on everything, and he's always talking. I can't bear to look at the guy anymore. I cannot look at the guy anymore. So, anyway, I had this dream last night. I mean, this thing is even invading me in my dreams. It's not even letting me sleep good at night. Had this dream last night, I don't know where I was going. I was first in this waiting area, I think I was trying to get home in the dream, I was trying to get home where it's safe, where I could maintain my social distancing, and there's people everywhere. I was like at a bus station or whatever, and I tried to go over into the corner where I could avoid all these people, and they were all like coughing and everything else, So I was fairly successful finding a seat in the corner of the bus station. So then I had to get on the bus. Where's my picture I got for you guys here? Of the bus. No. I had it on here. Anyway, had a picture of a bus. I had to get on this bus and it was crowded, There's all these people there everywhere, And finally I was able to find two seats, an empty seat and a seat. So I sat down in the empty seat next to the empty seat, and I was kind of leaning my head this way toward the empty seat to try to maintain a social distance, from everybody else on the bus. And there's this guy, he come in, he's in a blue suit. He come in on the bus. And for some reason, he looked right at me. And he was a salesman. He's trying to sell something. I don't know what in the heck he was trying to sell. I mean, this is just a dream. But he come right for me like a beeline. And he leaned right down over me, and he got his face right in mine, and I could actually feel his hot breath in the dream all over my face and everything else. And he's trying to sell me something. I think it was some sort of hand cleaner or something, you know. And he wouldn't leave. I asked him, you know, back off a little bit and stuff. He wouldn't. He kept getting his face right down in my face, trying to sell me this hand cleanser or whatever it was he's trying to sell me. I lost it. I finally snapped, and I lost it. You know, I'm a fairly big guy. I weigh like 250 pounds. And I'm not real fat, you know. There's not a lot of fat. I'm a big, hefty fella, and I'm fairly strong, you know. So, anyway, I lost it. I snapped. And I spun him around. I grabbed him by his rear belt buckle, by his belt behind his pants, you know, the belt behind his pants. I grabbed his belt, and I remember in the dream, I picked it up, and he was just about off of his feet, you know? I had most of his body weight. I was basically giving him a wedgie. And I walked him right down the aisle and pushed him right off the bus, you know? And I was looking at all the people there. They were all stunned. Their mouths were all like half open, you know? They were all looking at me. And then I said, well, it wasn't as bad as it looked, you know? I said to them, it wasn't as bad as it looked, you know? And they were all, their mouths were like, did he really do that to that guy anyway? And then I woke up, you know, and I was like, this whole thing has really gotten out of hand at this point. This whole thing, you know, and it didn't have to be this way, guys. It's even bothering us in our dreams. And, you know, terrible situation that we're in right now. Let's take a look at the markets today because, I mean, we got to keep a record of this, what's happening. Because this is monumental, what's happening right now, and we got to keep a record of it. Gold's up $30 today, $15.28. I don't think those short sellers, you know, they're not in the gold, not selling the gold as heftily as they were. And the gold price is starting to rebound now, $15.28. You know what they were doing? They're making up for the losses in the stock market. They were selling SLV and GLD out of their accounts, right? Because that was the most liquid asset that they could use to make up for their losses in the stock market. And so that's what was happening, you know, and that's what really drove the price of gold and silver down. It wasn't wasn't anything to do with fundamentals whatsoever, you know. But now we see the gold price starting to rebound, $15.28. Let's take a look at silver. $12.80 for silver. It's up 21 cents. Cryptocurrency today. What we're looking at with cryptocurrency is we're looking at the price starting to increase a little bit again, 61.40, and all the coins are actually doing good. Most of them are up. XRP is not up. Bitcoin Cash is not up, but most of them are up a little bit. Not big time, just a little bit today. So 61.40 for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the Dow today. You know, I'm going to tell you, the Dow is off. It hit the limits last night. It went down more than 5. I think it's 5%, and it hit. They stopped it. You know, but today it's down 352 points. So it's for the Dow, it's only down a little bit today compared to what we've been having. We're looking at 18,821. I could see it going under 10,000. The Dow, quite seriously. But it's very likely that it won't get down that low before they'll close this market. You know, and I was on here telling them they need to close the market back when it was at like 24,000. You know, I said, close the market. Whatever you do, close the markets. We could have still been 24,000. Well, you know, we could still be 18,821, which is what it is today. We could still be there if they close the markets now. If you wait, when are you going to close it? When it's down to 9,000, 8,000, 7,000, 6,000? Because it's just going to keep rolling over. I mean, I had a dream years ago, and in that dream, it was another one of these crazy dreams of mine, like the dream I had about the bus, you know? I had one of these dreams. But this was years and years ago. And this was back before I wasn't into finance. I mean, this is how long ago it was. And the Dow Jones was dropping in the dream, and it dropped and dropped and dropped, and it went all the way down to 3,800. But I didn't understand the numbers back then. I didn't know what that meant. It stopped at 3,800, you know? Anyway, in that same dream, I was dreaming about silver, and silver went up to $600 an ounce in that same dream. But this was a long, long time ago I had this dream, you know. And there was a woman reporter in the dream, and she was on there. This must have been like way back in 2011 or whatever I had this dream, or 2010 or something like that. It was a long time ago. It was like, there's a woman reporter in the dream. She was on there, and she's ever so proud. She was talking about the Canadian currency that morning, and she said that the Canadian currency that morning was worth $1.14 American. She said this morning, she said in the dream, like she said, the Canadian currency was worth $1.14. She said early this morning, and she big smile on her face, and she said, now our Canadian currency is worth $1.48 United States currency. This afternoon, like 3 hours later. It's going that fast, you know, against the Canadian dollar in the dream, you know. But it was just a dream. $600 silver. I pushed it all out of my head, you know, $600 silver, and that was priced in Canadian dollars, which is worth $1.48. Or whatever it was, $1.42, I can't remember, it was a long time ago. So it'd be like $1,000 an ounce, you know, sort of thing. Well, it was just a dream, you know, a silly dream I had years and years ago. Anyway, let's move on and take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil, $22.74, and it's just barely keeping its head above water. It's basically going sideways today. Let's take a look at U.S. Treasuries. All the yields are falling today. It looks like we're down quite substantially. 20 basis points on the 10-year and 18 basis points on the 30-year. 10-year at was it 7.734 and 1.38 on the U.S. 30-year. So that's what's happening on Treasuries. Now the dollar is still up nice and high. You see, whether they're going to pull the chart in. Still loading. It's at 101.74, and the dollar is sliding downwards today. 101.70 right now on the U.S. dollar index. So anyway, that's where we're at in this situation right now. The United States has been seeded like, or it's like a peppered steak. It's got cases popping up everywhere with an extremely infectious disease. Excruciatingly infectious. You know, I went to the site there and I was checking to see what they consider it to be on the classification of pathogens. Like they go from 1 to 4 on levels of pathogens, and I think it was rated a 3. Well, you know, a pathogen that's this extremely contagious, this deadly, and is moving through the world population like it is, I wonder why it's not registered a 4. In my mind, I'm just thinking, hey, you know, this thing should be a 4. I mean, it's probably the most deadly pathogen we've ever had to deal with, and it's not rated top on the list. It's not number one. It's like a number 3. What is a 4? I mean, okay, if this is not a 4, a pathogen level 4, something that's this contagious and this deadly and can spread all around the world and kill thousands and thousands of people, what is a 4 then? You know? What would make a 4? What would constitute a 4 if this is only a 3? Anyway, you guys try to have a decent day. Try not to let this thing affect you too much. I know it's hard to do because this thing, well, there are people out there. I was watching Jay Snip's channel, you know, and he's not really affected by it hardly any. He's it's no big deal to him, you know. But he had his baby there, you know. I was watching his show there last night. He had his baby there on the show, him and his baby. And the cutest thing I ever seen, you know. It looks just, his baby looks just like Papa. Honest to God, his new baby looks just like Papa. The two of them, the cutest thing I ever seen in my life. Anyway, God bless, guys. Try to have a decent day, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.